Here's something that the headlines missed. Harley's overall sales actually climbed this year. Retail is up, inventory is down, and yet walk into almost any dealer in America and you'll find the same 6 bikes still wearing dust. One of them has been sitting so long, the sales guys have stopped pitching it. That one's number 1. Number 6. Harley-Davidson Nightster Special, $12,499. That's the number that sinks this bike, not because it's expensive, because of what sits on either side of it on the same showroom floor. To the left, the standard Nightster at $9,999. To the right, the Sportster S at $15,999. And the Special is stuck in the middle, asking $2,500 for better suspension, a round headlamp, and a bit more chrome. The 975cc Revolution Max underneath is genuinely good, by the way, around 90 horsepower in a bike. This light means it pulls away from traffic like nothing Harley built 20 years ago. On a twisty back road, it actually changes direction. That's not something you say about most bikes wearing this badge, so why won't it move? Because nobody walks in wanting the middle trim. The budget buyer takes the cheaper one and puts the difference into pipes. The buyer with real money jumps straight to the Sportster S or walks over to the Cruisers, and here's the flaw nobody mentions in the brochure. That fuel tank is tiny. Real world. You're planning fuel stops way earlier than you'd like on a Sunday ride, and for a bike marketed as a do-everything commuter, that gets old fast. Compare it to an Indian Scout Bobber or a Honda Rebel 1100, and the value math gets uncomfortable in a hurry. My honest take, the Nightster Special isn't a bad motorcycle. It's a bad price tag on a good motorcycle. Drop it to $11,000 and it sells out by summer. At $12,500, it just sits there being ignored by everyone who walks past it, and that's exactly why dealers have stacks of them. If you've ever stood in a showroom doing this exact math in your head, hit that like button. It genuinely helps this channel keep making these breakdowns. Number 5. Harley-Davidson Breakout. There's a guy at my local dealer who has walked past this bike every Saturday for 8 months. Same routine. Stops. Runs a hand along that long stretched tank. Stares at the 240 rear tire. And then walks over and buys nothing. That's the Breakout in 2026. The most photographed bike on the floor and one of the slowest to leave it. $22,999 gets you the Milwaukee 8, 117, a raked out front end, and a silhouette that looks like a drag bike parked at a stoplight. Rolling on that engine in 3rd gear is genuinely addictive. There's a shove in the back that no parallel twin in the world replicates, and cruising down a boulevard on this thing, you feel like the main character. Then you reach a corner. And here's where owners get quiet. That fat rear tire fights you through every turn. It wants to stand up mid-corner, and after a full day of back roads, your shoulders know it. Add 0 wind protection at highway speed and a passenger seat that's basically decorative, and the use case shrinks to short, straight, sunny rides. Now the killer. The Lowrider S sits $3,000 cheaper at $19,999, handles better, and looks meaner to half the market. The Fat Boy is $400 less and has the bigger cultural legend behind it, so a buyer walks in with $23,000 and gets talked out of the Breakout by the bike standing next to it. Would I own one? Honestly, if I lived somewhere flat and warm and only rode 2 hours at a time, absolutely. It's the most beautiful thing Harley currently builds. But beauty at $23,000 is a tough close, and dealers are learning that the hard way. Number 4. Harley-Davidson Pan America 1250 Limited. Put this one next to the BMW R1200 GS, and the problem announces itself immediately. Not the bike, the badge. Adventure riders are the most brand-loyal group in motorcycling, and they've spent 30 years deciding what an adventure bike is supposed to be. Harley showed up late with something that technically is excellent. The 1250cc Revolution Max in this thing revs harder than any engine Milwaukee has ever sold, and the Limited adds adaptive ride height so the bike physically lowers itself when you stop. For a shorter rider on a tall adventure machine, that feature is worth real money. The problem is what they're asking for it, $26,499. Meanwhile, The Pan America Special, sitting 6 feet away on the same floor, starts at $19,999 and does 90% of the same job. That's a $6,500 gap for a bigger tank and some electronics, and buyers keep doing that math and choosing the cheaper one. Then there's the flaw the forums won't stop arguing about: dealer support. Adventure riding means long distance, and long distance means service in towns where the Harley dealer has never touched a knobby tire. Owners describe rolling in with a suspension question and getting blank stares. That kills confidence before the buyer even signs. No, my opinion, and this one might annoy people, the Pan America is one of the best motorcycles Harley has ever built. The Limited is not the version to buy. Take the Special, spend the savings on real luggage and tires, and you'll have a better bike than the one collecting dust in the corner. 2 bikes left before the one that's been sitting the longest, and the next one is the strangest sales story in the entire lineup. Number 3. Harley-Davidson Road Glide 3. Here's a problem most riders don't want to talk about until it's happening to them. Holding up 800 pounds at a stoplight gets harder every year. Knees go, hips go. And for a rider who has spent 40 years on 2 wheels, giving it up entirely isn't an option they're willing to consider. That's who the trike exists for, and Harley just rebuilt the whole platform for 2026. New frame, new suspension, new powertrain. It's the biggest change that lineup has seen in almost 2 decades, and by every account, rides dramatically better than what came before. So why are they stacked in the back lot? $36,799, that's the entry point. And the 2-wheel Road Glide, same fairing, same road presence, starts at $27,999. You're paying roughly $9,000 for the 3rd wheel. For a rider on a fixed retirement income, that gap is the entire conversation. There's also a real riding downside. A trike doesn't lean, and if you've spent your whole life leaning, the first 100 miles feel deeply wrong. It's wider than the lane markings suggest, filtering is over, and tight parking lots become a genuine planning exercise. And because the platform is brand new this year, a lot of buyers are doing what buyers always do with a first-year redesign: waiting. Letting somebody else find the bugs. My take is simple. This is the right bike built for the right person at a number that person struggles to justify. Give it 18 months, and clean used examples will be the smartest buy in the entire Harley catalog. Subscribe if you want honest motorcycle breakdowns instead of recycled press releases. Now, the 2 that hurt the most. Number 2. Harley-Davidson Sportster S. 121 horsepower, 1250 cubic centimeters of liquid-cooled Revolution Max. On paper, this is the most capable engine Harley has ever put into a small bike, and it is not close. Crack the throttle in 2nd gear, and it hits with a genuine sport bike urgency that embarrasses every air-cooled cruiser in the building. So explain to me why it's still sitting there at $15,999. Because the Sportster name is the most loaded badge in American motorcycling, and this bike shares almost nothing with what that name used to mean. The traditionalist who wanted an iron 883 looks at the fat front tire and the underslung exhaust and walks away. The rider who wants that kind of power is already shopping Japanese or European. Nobody is left in the middle. Then you have the ownership complaints, and these are consistent enough that you can set your watch by them. Heat. That rear cylinder cooks your right leg in stop and go traffic. And in a July heat wave in Phoenix or Houston, riders describe it as genuinely unpleasant. The fuel tank is small, so real-world range disappears faster than the styling suggests, and the controls put you in one riding position whether it suits your body or not. Here's the part that finishes it. The Nightster uses the same family of engine and starts at $9,999. $6,000 separates them. Most buyers pocket the difference. Would I buy one? With my own money, no. Not because it's a bad motorcycle, but because it's a brilliant answer to a question American buyers never actually asked. Number 1. Harley-Davidson CVO Street Glide Limited. Picture the corner of the showroom where the lighting is best. Velvet rope energy. Paint you can see your reflection in from across the room, and a price tag reading $51,999. That's before the $895 destination charge, before tax, before the first accessory. This is the bike dealer's photograph for social media, and then quietly financed for another 12 months. Everything about it is real, to be fair. The high-output 121 is the strongest engine Harley builds, and loaded 2 up on an interstate at 75 miles an hour, it doesn't just keep up. It makes passing trucks feel casual. Well, the audio system is better than what's in most cars. The finish quality genuinely justifies staring at it, so what stops the sale? $19,000. That's the gap between this and a Road Glide Limited at $32,999, which carries the same rider, the same distance, in nearly the same comfort. 19 grand buys a second motorcycle. It buys a trailer, a trip to Sturgis, and a new set of leathers with change left over. And here's the flaw that quietly does the most damage. Depreciation? CVO models take the hardest hit in the lineup, and buyers know it. The forums are full of riders waiting for a 1-year-old example at a fraction of sticker, which is exactly why the new ones don't move. The people who can afford this bike are usually the people disciplined enough not to buy it new. That's the whole story. It's not a bad motorcycle. It's a $52,000 motorcycle in a market where patience saves you 15. So no, Harley isn't collapsing. The company is selling more bikes this year than last. These 6 just aren't the ones moving, and every one of them fails for the same reason. Price stopped matching purpose. If I'm spending my own money out of this list, it's the Pan America Special every single time. Which of these 6 would you actually put in your garage, and which one would you never touch? Tell me in the comments. Subscribe, and I'll keep pulling these numbers apart for you.